Six Nations odds for 2022. Slightly different from the norm, I guess. But we'll go through the odds for each of the teams. And I've got their kind of fixtures up there on the board. Green means you're at home. Red means you're away. But yeah, we'll go through them and you guys can let me know your thoughts on how accurate or not you think they might be. Quick disclaimer, these are from a bookmaker whose primary objective is not to accurately predict results, but more to take your money from you and to turn profit. So just an FYI, it's a New Zealand bookmaker, but I've checked the odds with other bookmakers around the world and they're all kind of much of a muchness. No surprise that the least favoured side to win the Six Nations in 2022 is Italy. They're given pretty bad odds. They're paying $501, which comes out as about a 0.2% chance of winning the Six Nations. Getting any win would probably be more on the agenda. But even Kieran Crowley, the Italian coach, has basically said they want to ship fewer points. They want to improve the defence because last season they certainly did ship quite a few. They have 3 away games. First up trip away to France is pretty tough, followed up by welcoming England along, which is not much easier, if at all, and then Ireland as well. So 3 big whammies in a row. Traditionally, you would say they'll be targeting the Scotland game at home, but based on the Scotland squad that we've seen for 2022, I wouldn't have thought that's kind of a whole heck of a lot easier either. And then they rounded off with an away trip to Wales. So it's a pretty unforgiving fixtures list for Italy, but to be fair, you could put them 5 home games in a row and they're probably still going to be well at the bottom of the odds. That's just kind of where things are at the moment. Fingers crossed they can improve, but yeah, we'll see. Kieran Crowley's got a big job ahead of him. Next, you've got, there must be a bird on my roof, a couple of bloody hell, let me go check that thing. Right, not just one bird, but about 4. Who are we looking at next? After the Italians, we have the Welsh, who are paying $12 to win the Six Nations. That's here in New Zealand, which brings it out to about a 7.6% chance of winning the Six Nations. Maybe that's a bit of a tasty one if you're a punter, because remember, Wales are the reigning champion of the Six Nations. They have 3 games at home, albeit one of them against Italy, which they should kind of win home or away. Tough start, I think. The away trip to Ireland, they're not really being given any chance of winning that one, despite the fact that Six Nations matches between the big 5 countries are traditionally pretty close. I've done the stats on it, and there's not much between them. Yeah, Wales has essentially been written off, maybe foolishly so, for that first match, and then yeah, back at home to play Scotland, away to Twickenham to play England, home against France. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see how Wales go. I think because the regional teams are not doing that well, they are just generally being written off by all and sundry. But I mean, just look what happens last year. I think you kind of write off the Welsh at your peril. Next, interestingly, equally as the Welsh, it's Scotland. They're also paying $12, which also comes out to about 7.6%. So there you go. Traditionally, Scotland are the 5th ranked team in the oh man, that writing looks good from my angle, but not on the screen. Yeah, traditionally Scotland's 5th, but they're kind of 4th equal this time with Wales. Their fixtures list includes 3 away games, although again one of them is to Italy. So it's 2 tough away trips, especially Wales and Ireland. The last one is traditionally in recent times the one that Scotland's kind of failed to get over the hurdle. But they could certainly cause England problems, as they've proved in recent years, especially when they're up at Murrayfield. And then France has stumbled in Scotland, was it 2 years ago? So yeah, Scotland I think should be looking to be more than just kind of spoilers and aiming for the Calcutta Cup based on the squad that they've got. But I've been saying that for about 3 years now, so yeah, we'll kind of just see how they can go. Like I said, the away game to Ireland kind of looks the toughest of their fixtures, but that's just kind of on recent form based on what we saw at the end of 2021. Next, we have got England paying $3.75, which brings them up to about 24.2%. England traditionally ranked pretty high with the bookies because, at least with New Zealand bookmakers, there's a lot of English punters over here. But yeah, the fixtures list not bad. Away trip to Scotland, as I said, is going to be tough to start things off, and then away to Italy. But then 2 nice home games, Wales and Ireland, and then a potential decider depending on how the earlier games go. Away, yeah, it's still not my favourite of the fixtures list for the 6 teams. We haven't yet gotten to the one that I think looks the best. I think it's a bit of a mixed bag for the English. Away to France and away to Scotland kind of look particularly hairy. You would back England most of the time against Wales at home, maybe even against Ireland at home, but again, we'll kind of see there's a lot of rugby to be played between now and then. Also on $3.75 and at 24.2% is Ireland. So they are ranked, at least by the bookies, read into that what you will, as exactly the same. I forgot the 0.2 mark. There you go. Same as England. Fixtures wise, home to Wales, like I said, they're predicted to win that one pretty handily. If they didn't, it would absolutely derail the season. But that's what they're predicted to do. And then a massive, like at the moment, Ireland against France is kind of the pick of the games based on the way we saw teams finish in 2021, right? They both beat the All Blacks. So Ireland against France in France is going to be very tasty. And then Italy at home, England away, and then Scotland at home. So you'd think of the away games, if Ireland's going to win it, they need to win probably either one of they either need to win in Paris or in London, right, Twickenham. So, yep, it's possible, definitely possible. That Ireland squad, when we looked at the preview for all the names in that squad, it's looking pretty stacked. But that leaves us with France. France paying $2.50. Those of you who are good at maths, 36.2%. You would have worked that out already. So France, slight favourites for the Six Nations 2022, and to be honest, I like their fixtures list the best of all. It's maybe a bit rude to say it, but kind of a warm-up against the Italians. Remember, the French have got a few guys out because they've had some COVID cases, so the Italian game probably couldn't come at a better time. I know the Italians will throw everything at it, but realistically, that should be one where the Italians get pretty well beaten. Then they've got that Irish game. Likewise, it's at home. They've got Scotland and Wales, who at least, according to the bookies, are the least favoured of the bigger 5 teams. And then they've got England and Ireland at home, which could kind of be crucial. You never know. It is a pretty tough ask. And the last couple of Six Nations, there's been at least one game where France has absolutely just either choked or kind of mucked it up when they were kind of favoured to win. I think they lost away in Wales last year where they were maybe predicted to do better. They've lost away in Scotland. So this is maybe the year. They are the favourites. They've got the nicest fixtures list that I reckon you can have. So, yeah, we will see. You guys let me know what your thoughts are. Do you reckon these rankings are fair? Is it too harsh or too kind on any of the teams in particular? Who do you think's got the easiest or hardest run? If you want England rugby gear or British and Irish Lions rugby gear, I'll chuck some links down in the description. Both those stores, especially the Lions ones, having a massive clear out sale, but England rugby's got some gear to get rid of, or some new lines as well in for the start of the Six Nations. So those are a couple of affiliates to the channel as well. Check them out, see if you can get some gear in preparation for the Six Nations. But yeah, otherwise, you guys take care, and I'll talk to you guys again soon. See you later.